Let me know if you've heard this advice before. Buy shares of an ETF or index fund that tracks the S&P 500. Then you can sit back, relax, and let your money grow. If you've ever spoken with a financial advisor or read a personal finance book, then I'm sure you have. Now, there's nothing wrong with this strategy, but what if I told you that you could have received a 156% higher return if you had simply bought a different ETF? Without wasting any more time, I'm going to share what this ETF is and what some of the pros and cons of investing in it are. Really quick, before I do, please be sure to hit the like button below so that I know you're finding my videos valuable. This feedback really helps me. Okay, now let's talk about Cathie Wood and her Ark Innovation ETF. Cathie Wood is a famous investor who started her own hedge fund that focuses on disruptive innovation. She was known early on in her career for making bold predictions. One of the predictions that she made in 2018 was that Tesla would reach a $4,000 per share price within 5 years. This prediction ended up coming true in just 2 years on a split-adjusted basis. Two of the funds that Cathie runs are currently on the list of the 10 largest female-run funds by total net assets. One of these funds is her Ark Innovation Fund. Cathie founded Ark for two reasons. First, because she wanted to focus on disruptive innovation. The hedge fund where she was working had no interest in this topic, so she left to start her own fund. The second reason is that she wanted to open up her research for others to learn from. In this sense, she wanted to create a sharing economy company in the asset management space. So what is her Ark Innovation ETF all about? First things first, if you're not sure what an exchange-traded fund or index fund is, it's just a fund that tracks a wide range of different stocks. Instead of buying a single stock, you can buy a share in an ETF that has exposure to many different stocks. I'll cover the companies that Cathie Woods is invested in just a moment. First, I want to talk about her philosophy when it comes to investing. If you were to buy a share of Cathie Woods' Ark Innovation ETF, then you would be buying shares in companies that are focused on disruptive innovation. She believes that most hedge funds focus on things that have worked in the past. For example, they'll look at the past performance of stocks to determine whether or not these companies are worth buying. Or they'll also use strategies that worked in the 2000s and 2010s. On the other hand, Cathie believes that the future is happening now. She wants to invest in companies that are literally creating the future today by creating disruptive technology. If you're not sure what disruptive technology is, imagine a company like Uber. Uber completely changed the way that people get around by making it easier and more efficient to call a ride. Uber is not a major holding of Cathie's fund, but that's the main idea. A few of the sectors that the Ark Innovation Fund focuses on are artificial intelligence, robotics, energy storage, DNA sequencing, and blockchain technology. This fund was launched in 2014, and in July of 2019, it crossed $10 billion in assets under management. The only fee associated with the fund is a 0.75% management fee. If you're interested in staying up to date with stocks that Cathie Wood is buying, we actually made a totally separate video covering her most recent stock selections. Click this link below in the description so that you can learn more. On that note, let's cut to the chase and see how it's performed. Now, before I review the fund's performance, this is a good time to bring up my obligatory disclaimer. The past performance of this fund is no guarantee that it will continue to perform at this rate. Additionally, this video is by no means a recommendation that you should buy shares in the Ark Innovation Fund. This video, guys, is purely to educate you, my viewers. All your investment decisions should be made based on your own due diligence and risk tolerance. All right, with that said, the Ark Innovation Fund has performed incredibly well over the past 5 years. This comparison chart quickly shows us that the Ark Innovation ETF has nearly quadrupled the return of the S&P 500 over the past 5 years. However, there is one thing that I do need to point out. Tesla is the Ark Innovation Fund's biggest holding by far. It's over 10% of the fund. During 2020, Tesla's share price increased by a whopping 890%. A lot of this gain was due to short sellers being forced to close out their positions, which forced the share price of Tesla even higher. Since Tesla wasn't added to the S&P 500 until the very end of 2020, they did not reap the benefits of this run. You could argue that this is the benefit of investing in disruptive technology. You only need to find one company that hits a home run to experience outsized returns. However, you could also argue that Cathie Woods may have gotten lucky with one stock that pulled up the entire return of her fund drastically. If Tesla had underperformed and the stock tanked, then Cathie Wood might be drastically underperforming the market. If this were the case, then people wouldn't really care who she was, and there would be no reason to make this video. That said, the Ark Innovation ETF's return was already outperforming the S&P 500 before 2020. If we move the timeline to look at the period before Tesla's amazing run, The Ark Innovation ETF was outperforming the S&P by about 130% to 50%. I've already given away the top holding of the Ark Innovation Fund, but now let's take a look at the other 9 to see what's under the hood of this growth machine. Before I do, please, I ask that you hit the subscribe button below if you found this video valuable so far. You see, I post new videos frequently, and a lot of them deal with time-sensitive information. So if you want to be alerted for when a new video is released, then be sure to also tap on the bell icon. Okay, this will alert you when I post new videos. All done? Perfect. Thank you. Now, on to Ark's major holdings. On its website, the Ark Innovation ETF lists its top 10 biggest holdings in order. Keep in mind that Cathie is constantly tweaking her fund, so there's a chance that the top holdings might be a little different by the time you're watching this. As of October 2021, the Ark's top holdings in order are Tesla. Tesla, the electric vehicle company run by Elon Musk, which makes up 10% of the fund's holdings, which is a multinational telemedicine and virtual healthcare company. They focus on telehealth, medical opinions, AI and analytics, telehealth devices, and licensable platform services. Roku, which provides one of the simplest ways to stream entertainment to your TV. They have 2 main products, the small dongle that plugs into the back of your TV, as well as the Roku TV. Coinbase. Coinbase, which is the only publicly traded cryptocurrency exchange. Cathie Woods has predicted that Bitcoin will reach a price of $500,000 per coin. Her investment in Coinbase is a testament that she actually backs up her predictions. Unity. Unity Software, which is a video game company that helps game developers create games for iOS, Android, and 25 other major gaming platforms. Zoom. Zoom Communications, which you're already familiar with, assuming that you were alive during 2020. It's still incredible to me that Zoom snuck in and stole Skype's crown. Skype was the go-to video conferencing software for years, but as soon as everyone was quarantined, the world immediately switched to Zoom. Skype was also terrible, so maybe it had to do with that. Square. Square, which has their hand in a few different industries. Their business can be described as helping people process payments, and they do this in a handful of different ways. They allow merchants to process credit cards via those iPad things, and they also help you send money to your friends via Cash App. Shopify. Shopify, which is a software-as-a-service business that allows people to easily create an online store. Shopify eliminates any coding knowledge and allows you to create your own online store using drag-and-drop technology. Twilio. Twilio, which is an American cloud communications platform that allows software developers to programmatically make and receive phone calls, send and receive text messages, and perform other communication functions using its web service APIs. So that's it for the top 10 Ark Innovation holdings. Since it's a $10 billion fund, this is not an exhaustive list of all of the possibilities that they have. In total, they have 47 positions. Again, this is at the time that I'm making this video. However, I read on their website that Cathie chooses to keep the fund's number of positions lower than 65. A few other companies in the fund that you might know are Spotify, Zillow, DraftKings, Twitter, DocuSign, and Robinhood. The fund has also invested heavily in quite a few biotech companies. I'm going to attach a link to the fund's holdings in the description of this video, or you can also find a more up-to-date version with a simple Google search. Again, Cathie goes out of her way to make all of this information easily available. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you found this video valuable, please be sure to follow the very first link in the video description below and subscribe to my newsletter. By subscribing, you'll receive my most valuable tips for investing, any potential stock picks that I come across, and more informative content similar to what you've just watched. Most importantly, I don't believe in sending automated emails or spamming my subscribers. Instead, you can trust that each email that I send will be filled to the brim with valuable information that's sure to make you a better investor. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.